Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Dearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. It is indeed a brand new day. It is sunny outside. It is warmish outside. There's clouds, but while it's been cooler, it's been getting warmer, and I went out with a t-shirt and shirt, and was almost too warm when the sun was directly on me. But still, went out walkies because I had a doctor's appointment today. But I did my appointment, took the long walk to get back here, so right around 3 miles in total. 3, maybe a little bit more, hard to say, but still got some walkies, hope to get some more in. But the appointment was about spinal stenosis, the nerve compression, and all this. They were doing all of the nerve conductivity tests to find out if there was another thing that was causing any issues, like carpal tunnel or nerve entrapment and the degeneration or whatever. But nope, everything is good. It's this. And she talked about the various things. If she went and said, hey, let's do surgery now, likely the insurance would just turn it down. So until that time, we are going to go through and do all the other things, which means we're starting with physical therapy. Because the other things that were suggested were like all of the over-the-counter pain medications and anti-inflammatories and gabapentin, both of which I do. And so a lot of the immediate things that you do first off, I'm already doing. So physical therapy, then there's a shot of an anesthetic and a steroid, and I don't want to do that. I've had 2 of these injections before because of back injuries, and they were the most horrific, worst bouts of agony I have ever been in. Just absolutely horrific, made every issue I had just 1,000 times worse. I don't want to jump through another hoop that's going to catch me on fire. When I jumped through the first hoop and it caught me on fire and was horrific and nightmarish. Then I jumped through the second hoop and it caught me on fire and was nightmarish and hellish. I already know what's going to happen if I jump through the third hoop. It's already doused in gasoline. It's on fire already. If I go through the hoop, I'm going to catch on fire too. But I might have to do that to do the next step to get to the next stage. But if physical therapy helps, then okay. So here's hoping. Now, when I talked with my one doctor and was saying, yes, being a candidate for surgery, the older you get, the less of a candidate you are. Physically, that can be true. But she said for surgery-wise, they don't really look at a whole lot of that. If your system will take it, they don't care how old you are. So, thumbs up. But I had that appointment today, and so that's the deal. We're going to be going for physical therapy now, and then work from there. Past that, yesterday was a bad mental health day. Which wasn't so much there was bad like grinding down into dust sort of stuff, but there was a huge amount of executive function and dysfunction issues. And the executive function dysfunction is like if you throw a pair of socks at your clothing hamper and you want to go over there and pick them up, but instead you get up and you go to the bathroom because you have to go to the bathroom, and you don't pick up those socks. And you want to pick up those socks, and you spend all day, each time you walk past there, screaming at yourself inside of your head to pick up those socks. And you want to. But you do everything else but. You want to do this. And you can't. There is so much that I want to do that I just sometimes can't. I mean, I believe I was talking to myself in the mirror here once, but I'm going to say it here because I'm not sure. The question is, if you look back on your life, will you have regrets? And it's like, of course I got regrets. There's a busload of stuff I wish I could have done. Of course. But the question is, did you not do it by choice, or did you not do it because you couldn't? And I don't mean like, oh, I didn't have money, but rather executive function or dysfunction or ADHD or depression issues. I have been beating my head against walls for decades, and the walls have never moved. Ow. So of course I got regrets. There's a lot of stuff I wish I could have done. But the thing is, I couldn't do them. Or I would have. Thumbs up for that. So don't beat yourself up. If you're doing what you can, then you're doing what you can. And if you can't do something because you can't do something, then you can't do it. So yeah, of course I got regrets. But at the same time, what can I do about it? What could I have done about them? Nothing. That's like being upset that you can't run a marathon when you don't have prosthetics and you've had a below-the-knee amputation on one side. You can't run with just one leg. You need a prosthetic, and if you don't do it, you can't do it. So, doing my best, and hopefully that you are doing your best too. Past that, not much has been happening. I had, because stated of the horrible issues yesterday, I went out to talk to my sister, and then came in, and then I stayed in until that night. It was bad. Very, very bad. It was like over 12 hours later before I could get out and go walkies. Oh, so I'm not going to burden anyone past what I've said except to say no, nightmarish landscape up there, so thumbs up. Still, got better, slept sort of, and now it's a brand new day. One of the things, where did I put it? This is the thing, I've talked about it before. This is the game that I'm going to be doing for the channel here real soon. I got all these other things too, but one of the things that I've been trying, and another thing I have to do to get up to Walmart so I can buy some, it's stock paper, like card stock, like a business card thick. The light I have over my sink, all by itself, is brighter than the main light, but it's above the sink, so it's at a weird angle shining at this direction in the room. With that on, it is just a spotlight. So right now I have a piece of yellow and orange cardstock taped together and over the light, so that it goes through that cardstock and then shines out light down through the bottom out that doesn't go through the cardstock. I need to get it in some cardstock that's more of the beige pastel type white, so I don't get the other colors and it doesn't block it entirely. But without it, and I need to get it above this on this side too, without it, it just shines and there is just this glare. If you watch me play the game Dizzle It, there's this glare, and that's from the overhead light. So what I want to do is put a bit of cardstock over the overhead light so that it's more diffuse. A better idea, of course, would be have something that would have like a square of cloth to put up and over the window, over the light, so that it diffused by going through the cloth, but you only do what you can do. That's why they make those diffusers for studio lights. Big box of cloth that goes around it so that it diffuses the light instead of being a spotlight. Yay. But yeah, even though this game, the bad guys are they just stare at you and glare very disapprovingly. It's still surprisingly fun and surprisingly tense. So thumbs up on that. There are some other games that I do want to play for the channel, but one of them, I don't know if I want to play it for the channel or myself, and it's the one I bought first, Die in the Dungeon. I identified an issue that when I've gone online and looked up on it, everybody identified it. and that is when you're fighting the bad guys, they start off with a 20-sided and then they go down to a smaller die to roll to try and hit you. And that makes their odds go down, down, down until they hit the 6-sided die, at which point their odds of hitting you go up. And if you bump them down to the smallest, a 4-sided, they have a 25% chance of hitting you. Even the big bad monster at full health has like a 1 chance in 20, something like that. Not quite that bad, but it's very, very small compared to 1 in 4. That's a problem, because the difficulty, someone even did this for a chart, goes like this. You going, oh, you're killing them, you're knocking them down, and then suddenly it just spikes upward back like that. And just boom. Why are they getting tougher when they're getting weaker? So that one kind of frustrates me. There's the game Minotaur. I've showed the box off and some of the little pieces inside. That game looks to be pretty fun. Exceedingly difficult. Exceedingly difficult. Now, a lot of these games, to keep them replayable, there's a lot of random number generation. RNGesus is in charge. And a lot of them, like the Minotaur one, RNGesus has a powerful touch. And the one that I have showed off and continue to want to play, the one deck dungeon. Now that I went and stumbled over, forgot what I was saying. About the whole RNG, I've forgotten. Oh God, I hate ADD/ADHD. Still, I want to play that. I want to play this. Yes, it was games that I have issues with. Minotaur's tough. And the one deck dungeon is tough, but while tough, also in the case of one deck dungeon, not quite fair, but more, you feel less of a gut punch. There's the game 8-bit dungeon, where you're just starting at the top of the deck and flipping them over one by one by one. As much as I am engaging with it on its own terms, it still bugs me a bit, because your character just gets smacked and smacked and smacked and will die a lot. But then when you die, you just resurrect at the beginning and you start all over again. As you get stronger, there are worse penalties for it. But that kind of bugs me while I'm doing it, so thumbs up. Still though, games to play, I'm going to do them. Want to start with Space Marine Adventures. Need to get something to put overhead on this light, because I need light, but not so much light. And that's blocking too much light. I got pretty close to it so you can see in the darkness, because the whole back here is so dark. And sloppy. I got junk all over there. I got a paper bag back there. Walked to the store and back this morning after the doctor's appointment. So yeah, 13 minutes in, and I don't really have anything to say, because yesterday was just awful and I did nothing. And then yeah, this morning I walked to the doctor's and now I'm here. I am still thinking of creative things, both on my Inside-Outside Razor's Edge and on the solo RPG setting. Still working on that. After all, I've talked about how I need to work on some of the charts for the various types and creatures and races, and I've been thinking on those and how they work out. There was a big corruption thing that I've been working on for the continent of Karthkog, haven't spoken about yet, where one of the reasons that the Hulot talk about the land so much, you want to treat the land right or the land will treat you the way you treat it. Treat the land poorly, you get treated poorly. Treat the land right, you get treated right. That also applies to treating each other right on a mass level. You're not going to find any of the Hulot going to war against each other, because that's going against the land. You don't want to go chopping down trees just to clear it because you don't want trees in the way, because that's going against the land. And when you do that, you're inviting in the corruption, darkness. And that can affect groups in various ways. There are Koth, which are degenerate Apani on all three so far of the known continents. These Koth have been degenerating. There have been many, many ways and many times as they have been degenerating that they could have stopped, caught themselves, and come back up as a species. They have not. They will continue to degenerate until they become just pure animals. There are the Ogle, degenerate hogs. The same deal. Something happened way back when. They are falling. They will fall all the way. This sort of corruption can happen to individuals, to species, to groups. The Koth have spread out, and yeah, they continue to breed, but each generation is a little bit more animalistic. So they work real hard to stay right with the land, because otherwise, well, you're just asking for that corruption to come in. So thumbs up on that. And of course, what do they call the world? So far, I've changed the name of them because it fit better while I was out walking. Instead of Dwarland, they're the Dwaylen. Yay! But the Dwaylen of Lanmua, try to remember what I was talking about now, which got lost already. Again, ADHD. So I'm just going to cut it here. It's before I get frustrated with myself and just bore everyone, because my brain is not functioning ever. Still, one of these times I'm hoping to get the setting all put together, and then maybe I could even put it up on Drive-Thru-RPG. Hey, you never know. Still though, if you are one of my Patreon patrons, thumbs up and thank you. You help me out incredibly. None of you are obligated to help me out in any way, and the fact that you do helps out a lot. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up. So, when you look in the mirror, know that you're looking at someone who is beautiful and awesome, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I put your names up here, or I would read them out, but after my doctor's appointment, I'm struggling to find any spoons at all. I'm hoping I can do something after I get this done. If you've left me a comment, thank you so very much. Because of everything still going on, it is very difficult to type. I can't answer many questions. I can't reply to many of the comments at all because of everything that is going on. But I read and appreciate every single one, and I answer as many as I can do. That's a good thing. Greatly appreciated. Each and every one of you. So, until we meet again. That was very dramatic, wasn't it? So, until we meet again. You take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. So, yeah. I'm already exhausted. And I don't even think it's 1 o'clock yet. So, talk to y'all later, and oh boy.